Welcome back to another episode of the Office Hours Podcast with Professor Brad Perkins. Today, I have the victorious members of the ASC competition team from Region 6 and 7, the Reno competition here. We're going to talk about what the competition is, what students learned, kind of hear like their perspective of the whole event. Because we haven't been doing this very long, and we did a new team out there this year, the electrical team. So anyway, we got one of the student members, one of the seniors here to talk, and then here in a little bit, Roy's going to come back in and join us as well. So I'm going to let Ben introduce himself. Ben?
Yeah, my name is Ben Auderer. I'm a senior here at Iowa State. Fortunately, I've done ASC 6 different times, 3 times in Nebraska City, 3 times out in Reno, so a little bit of a veteran of the competition. But this year was just, a little different. Obviously, got to bring home the biggest piece of hardware there is. So
that's pretty awesome. I mean, and so Iowa State's been doing the Nebraska City one for as long as I can remember.
Yep.
I think going back to when I was a student even. But I don't think... We've only recently started going out to Region 6 and 7, right?
Yeah, so this was PM's third year going out, but I think maybe a year or 2 before that, they sent a concrete solutions team out there. And I don't believe they placed, but it was just kind of to get a read on what, the Region 6 and 7 competition looks like before we started kind of, focusing in on it and trying to send like winning teams out there. It was exploratory, I guess.
Okay. Well, here, I think this is important since you've gone to a lot of both, right? Why don't you first just kind of explain what an ASC competition is, and then why, what's different between the Nebraska one versus the Region 6 and 7 in Reno?
Sure. So ASC itself is generally a one-day competition. I mean, you go out there, you'll start at 6 in the morning, and you're not done until 10 in Reno, but midnight in Nebraska City, and you work all day on a problem statement prepared by a contractor in industry. It's generally a project that they have actually worked on, something they've actually built. There's a bunch of different categories. In Nebraska City, I've always competed on the design build team, but there's commercial CMR teams, commercial CMA teams. There's a specialty that rotates in Region 4 between electrical and mechanical, heavy civil, and then trying to think if there's another category or 2 I'm missing, but that's kind of the gist of it. The big difference between Region 4 and then Region 6 and 7.
And here, hold on a second. So ASC, right, Associated Schools of Construction.
Yep.
Okay, so for everyone to know, when we say a competition, it's like a project that the students have to do in very short order.
Yeah, I guess kind of going into that a little bit. I mean, you only have one day, but every team in that category is given the same problem statement, and then you're competing against other schools. In Nebraska, it's generally 4 or 5 other schools to essentially see who can come up with the best solution to the problem.
And by problem, are we talking like because I've never gone. Okay. So I'm not. I mean, I've always heard about the competition, but I've never gone to one. I never participated in it as a student.
Yep.
So is it a bid? Is it a schedule? Is it the best solution overall? How is winning defined? I guess.
Yeah, every competition looks a little bit different. I can speak from my design build experience. We show up, and generally the only information you have on the project is the type of facility it is that you're going to be designing. So this year we knew it was a hockey stadium. In previous years we knew it was a educational building on a campus I think we even knew the state, but we didn't know what campus it was going to be on. But then you show up and you'll get a program of the spaces, and it kind of tells you we want X amount of square feet for the actual arena, this many square feet for concourse, this many square feet for locker rooms, and you are from the ground up designing a building, creating a schedule for it, developing an estimate for it, creating site logistics for your construction phases. I mean, everything top to bottom, you are doing a design build project in 18 hours.
Well, wait a minute. Do they start you with like a general building design, or is it like totally on you got to pull up Revit and somebody's got to create a hockey stadium?
Yep, totally on you. You are given nothing. Some years you'll get like a one of those like bubble diagrams that show how the spaces should relate, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, that just tells you what spaces need to be near each other, not the actual design of the building or anything.
Okay. So you're doing like a complete 3D model of the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's kind of I didn't really. I guess for some reason I thought you had that to start with, and you were like estimating and scheduling and that type of thing.
Nope.
No. Oh.
Nope.
How much internet access do they give you?
It's completely wide open. I mean, you can use whatever you want,
Okay.
just not other students or not coaches.
Okay.
So it's completely open book. I mean, you're not limited in any way.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Is like, okay, can you research? Like, I mean, you'd have to do it quick, but can you research what other projects have been done similarly? What do they look like?
And that's something we do to prepare, because they do tell you the type of facility you're going to build. So it's a hockey arena, and it's. I think they even told us like an approximate capacity, so we knew it was going to be like a 6,000 seat or an 8,000 seat arena, whatever it was. And so we're like looking at similar size arenas, so like the Extreme Energy over in Iowa City or Coralville or wherever it's at, and then there's many in Minnesota that are like that. So we had a general idea of what we wanted our building to look like before we got there, but the program could come along and completely wipe all that out. So you can't do too much work ahead of time, just because the program could change literally everything, and then
true.
You're back to square one anyways.
Okay. All right. Okay. So and then what was the result this year? How do we do in Nebraska?
So I was captain for our design build team.
Yeah.
There were 5 teams competing. We got 4th.
Ooh. Oh, that's rough. So it's your fault is what you're saying.
Correct. It
Okay.
was on me.
All right. That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
It was not our best performance.
Okay.
There were many factors that played into it, but yeah, it was just a failure of my leadership to get it done. But commercial got first place. Heavy civil got first place. So our other teams did extremely well.
Okay.
Which it's always good to see, the other teams pull through, even when maybe it wasn't the result that me and my team were looking for.
Okay. All right. So when was that?
It's like mid-October. It's usually the weekend before Halloween, I think. So.
Okay. All right. So last fall semester.
Yep. Fall semester.
All right. And then why? So, I mean, that's close to us. I mean, Nebraska City is just a couple hour drive away. So, so why go to the 6 and 7? Why we do a second one here?
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was starting to get into. Like the big difference. Well, I guess I'll explain a little bit. ASC is regionalized. You go to your school's region. We are in Region 4, so that's why we compete there. But Region 6 and 7 Region 6 has their own internal competitions, so does 7, but then they also have a bunch of open categories that schools from anywhere in the country can come to compete in. And it has become essentially the national competition for ASC, these open categories have.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I was getting, the day of the event, I was getting messages from other advisors that I know at other universities, and several of them were there.
Yep.
And I didn't realize how big Region 6 and 7 that open part is.
Yep. I mean, it's definitely West Coast heavy, just because.
Well, it's close.
It's close for those schools.
I mean, that makes it. And there's a lot of schools. Just look at all the ones just in the the California state system of schools has.
Yep.
I mean, just them alone is.
Cal Poly SLO, Panoma, Cal, Berkeley,
Chico State.
Sac State. I mean, there's so many, and they're all there.
And they're all big.
Yeah.
I mean, they are not small programs. I mean, if we look at Chico State, you'd think of them as kind of a smaller university, but how many students? They've got a couple hundred students, don't they?
Their CM program's pretty big, yeah.
Yeah. Now, that is an important thing, is that we're not all talking about apples-to-apples comparisons, because the vast majority of the schools that we just mentioned are only construction management, not construction engineering.
Well, and even then, a lot of the schools aren't necessarily even sending CM students. They might be sending mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, these other disciplines for those specific categories to go compete in the mechanical category. You'll see, maybe 4 or 5 mechanical engineers with a couple CMs with them to kind of bring the practical knowledge with the engineering knowledge to solve the problem.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I want to say that I'm almost certain that's what Chico State does.
Yeah,
I better not say. I guess I'm not sure that they have like a true engineering program, or if it's more like, like a
Like a
technology.
degree.
Yeah, technology. I'm a little iffy on that.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about ASC then, like the Reno competition. So you guys go out there. How many students are at this thing?
Oh, man. There's, I think, almost 60 schools. It feels like there's probably got to be over 1,500 students, maybe getting close to 2,000. I mean, it's
Yikes.
massive.
That is a massive student competition.
Yeah.
Like when we go to here next month in March, we're going to go to MCA National Convention, Mechanical Contractors, and we have I can't think of how many chapters there are. I think 30, 40, maybe 50. I mean, we keep adding chapters every year, so I'm a little iffy on how many chapters there are. We have a really big student involvement, but it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
We're talking 150 students or something.
Yep. And it's a whole different beast because there's I'm trying to think. Yeah, the University of Florida's there, and then all the way up to Washington State.
Yeah.
And then Buffalo is there, and then down to Southern California schools. So I mean, it covers the entire country in terms of who's being represented.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, that's a big turnout. So how long were you guys there? When did you go out? Because it was all weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, we flew out there on a Wednesday and then flew back on a Sunday, so just in time for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was an exhausting trip from what I hear.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely burning it from both ends while you're out there, but
yeah.
It's worth it in the end for sure.
Okay, all right, let's talk about that part. All right, so you guys did win. Right. How many schools were in the competition that you entered?
In project management, I believe there was, last year there were 17 teams. I can't remember if there was that many this year, but there was at least 15 because that's generally how many they try to have. And then they'll always let a couple more in because they can't say no.
Oh, sure.
So,
no. All right. So is that one of the bigger areas or the premier one that people are going for?
PM's pretty popular. I think part of that's because DPR is such a huge company that
well, yeah, they were the sponsors.
Yep, schools want to get involved in that problem statement, but most of the problems have, I would say, 10 plus schools.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So how many different categories are there?
Oh, brother. Let me think. There's PM, concrete. I think heavy civil might be relegated to the actual specific regions. Electrical, mechanical. I think there was 8 different. There's an alternates competition that schools can send extra students to go participate in. I think there's 8 total open competitions between all the different categories.
Okay, and then we only entered 2.
Yep, we entered 2.
So we entered the project management one and the electrical one, which electrical, this was our first year.
Correct.
Right, this is the first time, and Jenny went out, Jenny Baker went out for that to be the advisor for that one.
Yep.
And they did pretty well.
Yeah, second place on their first year.
Second place on their first year.
Yep.
Which was heavily contested. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then obviously you guys won on yours. You want to talk about that? Talk about that. Here's the big thing. So that some of the schools are investing a crazy amount of time and effort into this. I know one of the, I think it's one of the California schools might even cancel class.
Yeah, I believe
for that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
Yeah.
They send so many students. I think they literally just shut down class for their CM program for the week.
Yeah, didn't they bring it was over 100 students, right? Yeah,
I believe so. When you're at awards, the whole middle section is just all Cal Poly slow.
Wow.
It isn't, and they all have their matching.
All have their matching stuff. Yeah,
and whatever.
Yeah. I hear you guys had like kind of a ragtag mix of stuff.
Oh yeah, we look like the biggest group of hicks that just walked into this place. You got people not even wearing Iowa State stuff. We got people wearing green and blue and whatever. And
you guys can't even all wear something generic Iowa State.
No,
you're so embarrassing.
Couldn't even get that together.
Yep. All right. So here's the question. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of effort. You're away from school for, the multiple days. Almost missed the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a classic Super Bowl, by the way. I know this is I don't have my Seattle Seahawks jersey on today, but I enjoyed the Super Bowl thoroughly. Why do it?
Why do it?
Yeah, it's so what's in it for you? It's okay, it's a bunch of effort. You guys have to find the money somewhere and go and why?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you want to develop as a student to be the best possible student and then the most, career ready student that you can possibly be, there's no better way to do it than ASC. Particularly Region 6 and 7, but also Region 4. It has its massive benefits as well. You'll learn more in your 3 or 4 days out doing these competitions than you would in a classroom in a month.
Oh, I'm offended.
I mean...
No, I'm not. I'm kidding. How many times you heard me tell people to get involved in student orgs?
Right. It's the same with an internship. I mean,
same with an internship, I mean, there's tons to be learned at Iowa State or at any school. Some of it happens in a classroom.
Yep.
A lot of it happens other places. Getting involved in a student org. Here, this is the thing I want to talk about. All right. So as a student, what were the big takeaways and the big benefits of going? So, I mean, other than the construction part, which is important, don't get me wrong.
Yep.
That's important. But what were the other things? If you're like, oh, this is one of the greatest learning experiences ever, why?
Yeah.
Why do it?
So I kind of think of it as it's like doing an internship in a weekend.
In a week, yeah.
You're
okay.
cramming, you don't get the maybe depth of knowledge that you would get throughout, a summer doing an internship, but you're jam-packing so many different skills and just kind of problem-solving factors into just a couple days. And you don't really have time to sit there and think on it. If you're submitting an RFI or something, you can kind of think how you want to craft that to look for the engineer to review. But you don't have time to do that. You just have to think on the fly and work with your team to create the best possible deliverables in such a short amount of time that there's just nothing else quite like it. That's why you go. That's what you learn what, a bid day is like at a GC. I know that's changed a lot over the last few years, the in-person bidding and all that stuff. But
sure. But still.
Yeah, you kind of get that feeling that, it's 9:30 and you don't even have your deliverables on the hard drive yet. And you have to get down your tower in the hotel, over across the casino, up into the judge's tower in 30 minutes. The elevators are swamped, so you climb 15 flights of stairs to get up there. There's just no other feeling quite like it, and you'll never get to feel that adrenaline rush in quite the same way as a student in any other place.
I think one of the great things there is the whole forced to figure it out.
Yep.
You got a serious time constraint. You're doing it against peers that have the exact same resources.
Yep.
There isn't necessarily a right answer like in school frequently. And I see this with students. A lot of times we get so, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. People get so focused on, well, what's the right answer?
Mm-hmm.
What's the right answer? And that's fine if you're doing a statics problem. There is a right answer.
Yep.
But life doesn't play that way.
Construction particularly.
Yep. And I know that, and for any alumni that's out here watching this, that's had my 241 class, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I know students are very frustrated by my format for 241, right?
Yeah.
There's very little in ways of direction. It's like, a problem statement that's like a couple of sentences.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, figure out this, whatever, cubic yards of concrete, cubic yards of dirt, pounds of steel, whatever it is, very little direction. And I know it drives them crazy, because they're like, academically, they're like, no, I need a rubric. I need to know exactly what I'm supposed to do. It's like, no, you actually don't.
Yep.
And this sounds like that to the extreme.
I do believe Professor Sturgill is here to join us.
Roy has entered the room. Or rather, I should say, Roy has entered the chat. All right. Well, so while he's getting ready. Okay. So, but you see what I'm saying is that like at the end of the year, I'll get comments on 241 where it's like, well, there's not enough direction on this and whatever. And you're saying, wow, one of the best experiences is doing a project where there's not much direction.
Yeah. I mean, the PM one, it kind of spells it out for you a little bit more than maybe other problem statements would. Mm-hmm. But what we found challenging maybe the first year that we sent a PM team was that the format of the competition hadn't changed in a long time. So the schools that had been out there and doing this for a long time could look back on previous year's resources and keep building and building and building off that because the format hadn't changed. Well, last year we got second. Yeah, we got second last year in the PM competition. And so we were thinking this year, wow, we have like such a great foundation to build off of because we did so well last year. We'll be able to take this to the next level and hopefully win. But then we show up and like pretty much everything changed. The only deliverables that remained the same were they wanted a schedule and they wanted site logistics. Everything else was different. But I think that ended up being good for us as Iowa State students. Like we're able to, kind of be put on an island in a sink or swim situation and still figure it out.
And forced to figure it out.
Yeah, and now everybody was on the same playing field. The Cal Poly Slows, all Boise's and all these other schools that are out there every year in this category don't have the same leg up that they have had historically.
Okay. So as far as the student experience, trying to do this and figure it out and do this in a short time frame and getting the whole time crunch and then being evaluated at the end of it, because also, once again, there's winners, there's losers, there's people that do better, there's people that don't.
Yep.
I think that's an important key part here is that, hey, at the end of the day, somebody's got to win. And then that means everybody else has to lose.
Yep.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you're saying, hey, that was a great experience.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the pressure of the competition kind of makes you figure things out. Anything else that would be like, as a student, hey, these are the bennies. These are the things that's awesome. This is what I gained from it and why you should go.
The one last big thing that I can just think of competition-wise is you think you're good at communicating with a team until you're locked in a room with a team for 18 hours and you are forced to communicate and collaborate.
Yeah.
And that's your only way out of the room is to work with people in that way. And the only way you're going to win is if you're able to do it in a way that's, conducive to the competition itself. Because if you're not able to work together, if everybody sits in their silos, maybe you'll have 6 great deliverables, but if they're not tied together, then it'll be obvious that 6 different people did each one of these different things and that it doesn't actually tie into each other. But when you're building a construction project, everything relates.
No way. Communication is actually an important part of the job.
Yeah.
Who knew? Somebody should incorporate this into a class of ours, Roy. What do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just obviously you guys hammer that home, but then I always thought I was good at communicating.
Right.
And then you don't realize how difficult it is to communicate when you're in that high stress situation, but also you do realize how important it becomes because I'm working on the schedule all day. But we have other people making site logistic plans, people doing our GCs, and kind of all these other deliverables, and they all tie back to my schedule. So if I make a scheduling decision, I have to let the whole room know, and I have to get their input because maybe they've already done something that dictates a part of my schedule. And so it's just constantly talking, and I think that's what the team did so well this year. There was hardly any quiet time in that room, which can sometimes be frustrating because you just want to buckle down and work, but keeping that constant line of communication open between everybody, allowed all of our stuff to tie together.
What's fascinating over the years is as I watch different class group projects, not competitions, but class. Almost every time when a group has a problem, whether it's 241 or capstone or it doesn't matter what class it is, it's always the communication part.
Yep.
Always. Every time a student group doesn't put forth a decent product, it's not so much that the math was wrong or the technical parts. I mean, sometimes there are. But by and large, the biggest problems are always the same. They're always communication. They always start the same. They're not responding. They're not doing their part, on and on. I'm doing everything. No, what you do sucks. What I'm doing, it's all back to the communication part.
Well, and I would say that one of the things that we don't necessarily talk about specifically, but that we allow the students to learn through the groups, the project-based learning that we have in our classes is this whole teaming psychology. One of the most influential classes that I took in college, part of my MBA program, was organizational behavior. And you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, Ben, but every team that you've been part of, you go through the stages, and the stages are forming, storming, norming, conforming. So you come together as a team, you figure out who's on the same page, who has beef with who. To use like one of your terms. I'm sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Roy, you're a little old to use who's got the
old
beef.
to use beef.
Oh, brother.
But then you all figure out, hey, we have a job to do, so we're gonna figure out how we can work together, and then once you all figure out how to work together, it becomes smooth sailing. And the challenge with these ASC competitions is you may have a little bit of that stuff that you can do beforehand.
Yep.
But it really, all 4 of those stages happens in those hotel rooms.
Yep.
In short order.
Yeah. Well, and like that was kind of, as you mentioned, like some of these schools kind of make this like their Super Bowl, and it's, not a flex that we don't, but like we met, once or twice a week for 3 or 4 weeks leading up to this thing. And that was like all of our preparation. And we didn't meet with any industry. I think Roy and Steve came in once, but that was mostly to talk logistics of like getting there and stuff.
It's like, hey, whose flights? You know?
Yeah. No, I was a travel agent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So like, as you said, like that whole process happens that day. Fortunately, we all have, relationships with each other just because it's such a small program. But I think the other part too is like we kind of already had a hierarchy a little bit established. I'm the captain. Max has done this before, so he's kind of like going to be the next go-to guy. And then we
so how do you pick
the roles.
Okay, so and I don't know if this is a you the captain question or maybe Roy the advisor question, but how do you pick who goes? How do you pick the students? I mean, is it just like you draft people, or is there an audition, or what's the deal?
Region 4 is the audition.
Yeah, I would say it's a bit of an evolution. Every year when we wrap up, the Region 4 competition, we sort of have a discussion amongst, myself, Steve, the current captains, like who is the next in line for leading this thing, and then from there, I ask those new captains, who do you want on your team?
Okay.
And so
the captains do most of the selecting?
They I would say that
we have a voice. We don't get a pick.
Oh, okay.
I tend to go with you all for the most part, but
it's like I'm the head coach and he's the GM. Like I want to draft this person, and he's like,
it's like, nah. Let's save our draft pick for someone else. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. No. That is interesting. So students apply then for the Nebraska one. People apply.
So what we've done in the past, but we haven't needed to in a while, I would say, is they talk about it at the AGC meetings at some point in the semester, and a call will go out. And in the past, it's also been like a Qualtrics forum, and basically, yes, the students who are interested apply. However, there's lots of other things that happen where we have captains, we have other team members that go to like their learning communities, they go to various classes, and they find the people that are the students that are sort of stand out, have the good communication skills, are really interested in the program, participate in different AGC events. And so they're already pretty active students, I would say.
Well, it sounds like there's a big sifting process.
Yeah, but
a lot of it, they're self-sifting.
It is, but I would say that it's largely informal.
No, absolutely, right. But by self-sifting, what I'm saying is I doubt that you would see someone that had a bunch of group problems in 241 make the team.
Most likely not. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying is your reputation kind of precedes you here.
Well, and the Region 4 is kind of the trial ground too.
Sure.
So if we find out that there are folks that aren't good team players that cause some problems in the room, even if they're minor, to me, those things as I hear them become questions as to does that person need to go to Region 6 and 7? Because it's the last thing you need in that room in Region 6 and 7 is some kind of turmoil. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have time for that.
Nope.
I mean, either people are pulling their weight or they're not. You know, it's that simple.
Well, and the first year I went on the PM team out to Reno, we had a great team, a very talented team, but the team chemistry wasn't there like it was there last year or this year. Mm-hmm. And people kind of, because there wasn't that same chemistry, I feel like got into those silos a little bit. So I think that was like kind of one area we lacked the first year I was in this competition, and it's something that's gotten better, at least as long as I've been in it.
Okay. All right. So that's a lot of kind of cool stuff where you got the pressure, the competition, and the teamwork, all those things. Is there anything else like, because I think you were saying, didn't you tell me there's like a career fair and stuff out there?
Yeah, massive career fair.
Yeah.
A massive career fair? Tell me about that a little bit.
I have some of the fast facts.
Oh,
that we
fast
have.
facts.
Yeah.
Fast
Oh,
facts.
yeah.
So
Is this a new
facts.
segment to the podcast?
There, fast facts.
This is the Region 6 and 7 student competition fast facts. So there were 246 teams.
Holy crap.
The number
Jesus.
of students on those 246 teams was 1,476 students.
Good estimate. You said about 1,500.
There were 386 alternates, so there's an
Oh.
alternate competition as well.
What I say? Maybe up to
Never
2,000.
mind. Yeah, we're getting close to that 2,000, aren't we?
So
Smack dab in the middle.
so the total number of students was 1,862. There were 56 participating universities representing 20 different states, 100,
Crap.
130 faculty coaches, 108 companies at the career fair. So this is just construction companies.
Yeah.
108. 155 total companies attending the event. And
That's a big career fair in itself. If you're saying that they're having a career fair there with 100 companies,
over 100 companies.
100 companies and
And some of the
1,800 students.
Some of the best swag I've ever seen.
I got a free little like
Yeah.
JBL speaker.
What?
Yeah.
Giving away that swag, man.
That's-
when you're giving away JBL speakers,
Yeah.
are you kidding
There's
me?
some extreme stuff there this year.
One of the companies had an espresso bar set up at their booth.
Yeah.
You would just walk up to their booth and you could order any kind of espresso drink under the sun, and this dude would make it for you right in front of you.
Get the heck out.
I swear.
That's like next level stuff for a career fair.
It's worth the price of admission alone, which for a faculty member is $0.
$0.
Because the
That's,
companies pay.
dang.
So, and then the registered number of industry attendees,
Yeah.
1,700. So it's almost one
Almost
industry
one
person
per student.
Yeah.
This
I
is
did
an
not know
event.
there was that much industry there. Oh my god,
That is crazy. You're talking an event of
almost
of
4,000.
Yeah, of getting close to 4,000 people.
It's huge.
That is monstrous.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I did not appreciate. I was looking at some of the pictures, that are online, that, like on LinkedIn and stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty big.
I got some
You know?
pictures of the career fair.
Ooh.
If you want to.
Yeah, here, hold on.
Plug me
Here,
in
I'm
here.
gonna flip over to the laptop.
All right, yeah. I don't have anything too crazy, but you can just kind of start to get an idea of the scale. Like, how many
It just
companies you say?
goes on
108
and on.
different companies just at the career fair alone. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like every student who's at this thing is down there, and now the floor is filled with all the industry members too. So it's
Wow.
crazy. There's so much different swag being given out, like energy drinks, just whatever you want, you name it. It's being handed out here, and
Well, and
Dang.
the why is
Yeah.
that the companies know that these are the top students that are going to this event. So they are, they're there to do the best
Yeah.
recruiting job they can do.
They
so
can,
bring-
because this is
Yeah.
a target rich, and like
Yeah.
they've already, pretty much anyone here is already self-sifted
Yeah.
in that they'd be the some of the top students in every program.
And they acknowledge that most already have some form of job offer, so they have to come to the table with their best opportunity to try and recruit some of these students. So
That's pretty awesome opportunity.
yeah, it's also pretty cool
Mm-hmm.
when you give a good presentation and then you walk out of the presentation room and like 4 or 5 companies
Oh,
come
our
up to you and are like,
our students got swarmed after every
Oh,
presentation. It was
yeah.
just like,
yeah, they're like, you guys kicked ass. Like, come work for Turner or come work for Clark or come work for whoever it is.
Yeah, that is a target rich environment as a student.
Yeah.
I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, our own career fair here at Iowa State is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Okay, but this is definitely like next level.
Yep.
I mean, this is like this is the difference between being a top draft pick and being a walk on, or you know
Right.
what I'm saying is that's a big deal.
Yep.
So I see the incentive for the students is high, but you know what? I see this at MCA competition as well. Because the students that are going, not competition, I should say the MCA convention, because if you're going with one of the student orgs there, as a faculty, I know this, and all the rest of us, we only bring our best students.
Yep.
So when at the convention, when a contractor sees a student at the national convention, they're like, "Hey, you want a job? Where do you want to work?"
Yep.
You know, I mean, we have our own career fairs as well. Not that big, you know, but I mean that's kind of crazy. But I think that is the most valuable part about student org involvement is the networking opportunities, the chance to distinguish yourself from the rest of their peers, to get in touch with those companies that are really looking for cutting edge workers because they're doing cutting edge work.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the other thing, did you talk about your research?
Oh, no, I haven't talked about my research at all.
What research?
So I convinced Ben to do graduate school. So he may not have mentioned that.
No, Ben's going to grad school? Did I know this?
I'm technically in grad school right now.
You're technically in grad school right now.
Yeah, well, not even technically. Okay. I am in grad school right now.
Okay.
So his research is about how participating in student competitions, specifically the ASC competition, is an indicator of future success.
Oh, that would be fascinating.
Well, we'll see if it is, I guess.
I guess we'll see. We'll see.
We're making
let's not be
That's my hypothesis, but I mean, I have no idea if that's actually true.
Yeah, how embarrassing would that be if you proved
opposite?
The opposite.
We're not gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine that's the case, but if that's the case, then it is what it is.
Yeah, it's good to know. I would absolutely, this would be interesting if you would it'd be interesting if there was like, you could prove like percentiles, you know what I'm saying? Like, because this was literally a question in 241 like last week. Well, what if there's a recession? What if there's a turn down? What do you mean by distinguish yourself or get ready for that? And I'm like, the first thing I said is student orgs, being an officer, going to the competitions, all these.
Graduate school.
I didn't say that one. I don't think I mentioned that one.
A master sets a student apart from another.
Roy with the jokes now.
Yeah, look at Roy go.
You're the one that agreed to it.
That's true. He did work on you for somehow.
Another year of college, baby.
But it would be fascinating, wouldn't it? It would be fascinating to see with regards to success. But I mean, we're in this weird time though right now where. And it's been this way for several years. And Roy, I know you've seen this, where students are like, "Yeah, I don't have to do anything extra because everybody gets a job, and is it really worth it?" And it's like, yeah, it is, because there's a job, and then there's like your choice of jobs. Yep. There's a job, and then there's like a top shelf career.
Yep.
And setting yourself up for that happens now. Now at the undergraduate, sophomore, junior level. Kind of thing.
Well, and I don't think we're experiencing any significant issues right now. And I'm no economist, but I'm starting to see some indicators that things are slowing down.
I've wondered that, but every time I think this in the last 15 years, I've been wrong. Okay, but I do know exactly what you're saying.
I mean, just in conversations, like when I ask companies, like, "Hey, are you hiring?" Well,
we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, we're kind of waiting to see if.
We got a couple of big things about ready to break, and if that happens, yeah.
And when you start hearing some of that stuff, and instead of just, "Oh yeah, we're hiring," you got somebody. That's when you're kind of like,
it's a shift. It's a tone shift.
They're at least becoming a little more guarded. I would say 2 years ago, the blinders were off. We were like,
hire everybody that's breathing.
Yep. Well, I know I think Ryan had some pretty big layoffs at the end of last year, maybe the beginning of this. So it's hitting some companies already because they're getting. I don't think Ryan had a bad year. I think they're just getting ready to have a bad year. Is kind of what it sounded like.
Yeah, that is curious, isn't it? I mean, I've definitely noticed a little bit of that. Kind of wondering, is this the head? Is this kind of the edge of a downturn? Is it just a pause? I don't know.
Well, there have been so many of these like little ripples, right? Where you go through a little bit of it's not really a downturn, but just a little bit of a lull, and then you come back up.
Well, see, and that's exactly it. We've been going so hard in construction for so long.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell what's like normal. I was joking with with someone in the industry about how in class I had to explain what a union bench was. You know, because none of the students they ever even heard that term before. Do you even know what that is?
Oh.
See, here, Roy. Okay, a union bench is where, like one of the, like electricians or plumbers, if you're laid off and you're out of work, you go to the union hall, you put your name on the list of people that need work. It's called the bench, or at least it was referred to. It was a place where people in the union could go, and then, like when I was a student, I remember like one of my when I was interning, and that's been a minute ago. You know, it was the 90s, and I remember like project manager being like, "Hey, call up the union hall and have them send over the next 3 guys on the bench, right? Because that's how they got extra. That is how like a plumbing company, a large one, would moderate workforce.
Yep.
They're like, oh, we need more people. Oh, next week we don't. You know, so let's lay them off, and then we'll, go back to the bench, and it was your farm team. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. Well, does that even exist in plumbing and electrical today, Roy?
No clue.
No. There's nobody sitting on the bench. There's no union halls with extra labor just sitting around looking for work. You know, electrical and plumbing and mechanical, they don't lay workers off because they'll know they'll never see them again.
Yep.
You know, but that's not normal. It would be far more normal for, even in a good year, that there would be people waiting for work on the bench so that you could staff up or you could lay off with typical seasonal, busy and not so busy periods.
Yep.
But we don't even know what that means anymore.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing is on the trade side, I mean, the supply has, changed.
Oh, totally.
I mean,
totally.
We need so many more people.
We do.
The trades.
We do. We need, and that's the thing, is especially the skilled trades, the plumbing and of course, I mean, I'm not saying that we don't need more carpenters and concrete workers and those types of things. I'm just more familiar.
Definitely do.
We do. No, we do.
Can confirm.
Yes, but I'm more familiar with mechanical and electrical trades.
Yep. And
they are absolutely understaffed, undermanned, underavailable. There is no bench in those things. And that's what I'm saying is we've been going so hard in construction for so long that if we were to return to what would be like a normal year out of the 90s, everybody would think it was the end of the economic world.
Yeah, I mean, and we're not seeing huge issues with it, I think, in the program, maybe as it kind of gets... Yeah. We'll hear a little bit, I guess, sometimes about how tough it was after the recession in 08, 09.
08, 09, and 10.
Yeah, in that era.
Yeah.
And how students were super involved then, because that is how you set yourself apart.
That is how you set yourself apart.
And I think you see a little bit of a hangover of that, not coming back all the way. But I mean, AGC does pretty well right now. It just sometimes is a little frustrating to see people not super care, and it's like,
I know this is incredibly frustrating to me, because it's like, hey, get involved with MCA, well, why?
Yeah,
why? I'll get a job anyway.
It's also such a super low time commitment.
It
Even
is
on cabinet,
yeah.
I mean, it takes time. Don't get me wrong.
It does, but
the rewards you get out of it, just like ASC, it is a time commitment for sure. But what you're gonna end up getting out of it is worth so much more than the time you put in.
Yeah,
and how you convey that point to a freshman who just got on a college campus for the first time in their life is beyond me. But
I know is, yeah.
So our trades conversation, the reason that I was trying to look something up, have you seen the Built by Pros commercials?
No.
Or
no.
So look up Built by Pros sometime.
Okay.
So it is basically an organization, of the trades and unions, and they're in Iowa, and they have a commercial, and it's an awesome commercial. As soon as it started, it caught my attention. I was doing the dishes or something. I heard it, and I turned around. I was like, wow, this is really cool. But it's just a bunch of people that shows them with projects in the background saying, I built that. And
that's cool.
It's really cool because it's showing the Capitol building, and you got the guy there standing and saying, I built that, and talking about all about these trade programs and how important they are, and how what does that career look like? What do you get to say that you were part of and that sort of thing. So really cool. And I think it's something that we should figure out, what they're doing, because we need our own commercial.
We do
to recruit students.
We do. We need this badly.
To, so that
this has been
you built that.
Yeah, this has been a frustration for me here teaching at Iowa State for like the last, ever since the recession time, right? Since then, okay, let's get through the recession. Not awesome for our students, okay, but that was 2010. Since 2011, we've had the highest placement rate in the College of Engineering every year running. I mean, always. And it's like, but yet our enrollment is a fraction of what aerospace or definitely mechanical engineering would be. I'm not saying we need to become them, but I would say it's frustrating when we could be placing so many more students than we actually are. And we have such great resources for jobs, for scholarships, internships, the whole thing. It's just frustrating to me. It just always has been. And I don't know why. It's almost as if students and their parents don't see construction as a true endeavor of someone with an engineering degree. And it absolutely is. And it's going to get even more so. Your career is going to be vastly different than mine.
Yep.
Graduating in the 90s, it was engineering and construction were far more separated than they are today. The idea of a construction engineer actually doing design work was fairly radical.
Yep.
At the time.
Well, and I often wonder for for the mechanical option students and the electrical option students, like, do people really understand our option areas or know that they're there?
I don't.
Because
think
how many students that are in mechanical engineering right now really want to do 80% of their careers being in mechanical design type work? Or do they want to be out there and do what our students do and help make that translation from, mechanical design to actually the field piece?
This is interesting because over the years, as I talk to mechanical engineers, a lot of them are like, oh, yeah, I should have done that. I should have done Connie. If I would have known. If only I would have known. But the problem is a lot of times as freshmen and sophomores, they don't know. They don't have any idea what it is they want to do. They're literally like, I want to pass, physics and thermodynamics and stuff like that. And I just, there'll be a job somewhere. I mean, what I'm saying is at the freshman, sophomore level, you're really more focused on survival. Than you are career.
Yeah.
And you should be. Don't get me wrong. You should be. You need to have that. But really they're not thinking that long term other than get the degree and the rest of it will work itself out.
Which it can. For the most part. An engineering degree, you're going to be able to do.
Yeah, there's so many choices. Yeah. Yes.
Do you ever get into those learning communities? Like the ME learning community classes?
Oh, to the other learning communities? No.
Yeah.
No. Hard no. You think they're going to let you come in and like the first thing you say is, hey, you should switch your major?
Civils let us do it. They let us go into theirs. We're not supposed to advertise that?
Yeah, let's not. They're not terribly happy about that.
I mean,
they don't need to know why we're there.
Yeah, they don't need to know.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, just speaking the good word.
But no, the mechanicals do not, I assure you.
Yeah.
The best that we do is, like, Jenny goes to a lot of the undecided engineering majors.
Yep.
And she's doing a pretty good job at getting them to look at us and switch.
I was an undecided when I came to Iowa State.
Yeah?
Yep. And then I got sent to an AGC meeting by my advisor and then switched to Connie.
And then there you go. You switched to Connie?
Yep.
All right. That's good.
That's good to know.
That's good to know.
Many moons ago.
Yeah. Well, see, and that is, you always need to be selling, right? We need to be selling the major because there's lots of advantages to it. But I don't know. It's a hard thing, right? Because we keep debating on how to do this, and some things like that work, and still you get the whole, oh, I hadn't heard of you guys,
right?
And I mean, part of that is the function of being one of less than 30 ABET accredited construction engineering programs in the nation. It's that if you go and ask parents,
yeah.
So and I told you the story last time I was here on that I didn't know what job I was applying for when I came. And
see, I was explaining to Ben about the podcast that you were on with me and how we both made some stunning admissions. Roy's admission was that when he came to Iowa State, he didn't even know there was a construction program, and we were interviewing him.
Tisk.
Yeah,
Well,
he didn't even know what job he applied for.
Well,
I mean, come on.
So I did construction my entire college career, civil engineering, construction emphasis at University of Kentucky. Went to Virginia Tech, was still in the civil engineering department, but I was in the construction engineering and management program. When I went back for a PhD, I was back at Kentucky, and it was in construction. So my understanding of construction engineering was always a part of civil.
A subset.
Yeah. And if you look at nationally, the American Society of Civil Engineers is the umbrella organization that construction engineering fits in.
Yep.
So, I'm not trying to make excuses for myself, but I am. But that's the norm that we need to battle.
It is.
Well, even you're saying there's approximately 30. How many of those programs started in the last 10 or 15 years?
Very true.
Like
and ours is
at least
the largest.
a third of them.
To my knowledge, ours is the largest in terms of.
That's insane. It's not very big.
No. Now, other
right.
programs that have construction management, they're larger, but their construction management program is much larger than their construction engineering.
Yeah,
program.
construction engineering is a small portion of it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yes, I mean, a lot of construction engineering programs, those 30, you're right. Like at least a third of them have probably started up in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's more every year. We may be over 30 now. I don't even know.
I don't. I honestly don't know, because I know in the last few years,
Arizona State,
Colorado State, Oregon State.
Arizona State's had one for a bit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Colorado State, Colorado School of Mines.
Yep.
Yeah. Oregon State. They started up.
Yeah.
There've been. I think. Didn't we hear one was closing up shop? Like, was it Washington or Washington State when we were out at Reno?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. Really, they're folding their program.
I thought they said that. No, they still have construction management.
Yep.
But that their construction engineering was kind of going away because it was just so small.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't.
I can't remember what university it was, but I feel like it was in Washington.
Yeah, it could have been either UW or Washington State.
Okay. Interesting, because it just seems like with so many people wanting to hire construction engineers, it just surprises me. But then again, a lot of times academia doesn't really have all that much basis in reality. Oh wait, should I say that? You know what? It's my podcast. I can say that.
You still work.
Yeah, I can say that. Oh, but you know, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's like we've got all this demand and yet kind of a bunch of untapped potential there, I think. But anyway.
To maybe refocus onto why you should hire construction engineers.
Yes, let's do. Yeah, go to the laptop.
Go to the laptop here.
There we go. There.
Yeah,
right.
Iowa
There's
State
the belt.
Construction engineer. If you bring home the hardware.
Yep.
So, real quick, just want to shout out my team: Alexa Peters, John McKean, Caden Kane, Max Schrum, and then L11 was deathly ill at the time of this photo.
Gosh.
Oh, Ella.
Did we talk about that yet?
No, we haven't. All right,
Performance of a lifetime from L11.
Yeah, okay, let's. Yeah, because this is like legendary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share a couple stories, but we'll start with the Ella story.
Okay.
So the Ella story is, they do their thing, right? We see them occasionally. It's kind of periodic. One of the times we get to see them is when they're getting ready to go present. So I come down, they're kind of in the lobby waiting area, all around kind of standing and talking, and then I see Ella over at the table just kind of like slumped over, and I'm like, oh gosh, what happened? I had no idea what was going on. So then somebody said, yeah, she's just not feeling well. So then we walk into the hallway outside the room where they're going to present, and she's like, basically, she didn't collapse, but she basically collapsed in the hallway floor and just kind of like sat down on the floor, and again, like looked just
like the way. Yeah, I think Jenny described it as she looked like death.
yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So then we're in the presentation, and she's the last person to present. They got off track, I think. I mean, I don't know, but it seemed like maybe you were a little over time or close. Or
Yeah,
something.
we were running a little longer than we should have.
So out of nowhere, Ella like delivers like one of the best presentations I've seen anyone ever give before. It was smooth. There were no like ums or ahs. There was no pausing. It was message from start to finish, clean delivery, eye contact, focused, no looking at the slides. It was perfect. And the only thing that I could like compare it to was Will Ferrell in Old School, where he does the debate and like says, "What happened? I blacked out." Like that.
What happened? I blacked out.
I mean, she did fantastic. And then after, it was just like all that adrenaline like drained, and she was back to, I have to go find my room
and lay down for the next 24 hours.
And we didn't see her for 36 hours, I think. I didn't.
We went and checked on her Saturday.
They brought her food.
Yeah, we were, like she was bedridden pretty much. Like
wow,
couldn't.
What a champ. I mean,
it was very impressive.
And it was a similar thing, competition day. Like she was kind of slowly getting sicker throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then once we turned our deliverables in, you could kind of tell she was just like, oh, thank God I'm done.
Yeah.
And like she stayed present enough to help us make the presentation and everything, but you could tell like subconsciously that she was like, okay, I can kind of check out a little bit for a second.
A normal human would have just been like, yeah, this is a competition for fun. I'm just sick.
Out.
I'm just out. But her standing up like that, I know Jenny was so impressed. She told me about it. She's like, she like was almost dead, pulls herself into there, gives the delivery of a lifetime, and then as soon as she's done, boom, crashes.
And it's like 30 minutes too. Like you have to stand there while your teammates present, and then you have 10 minutes of Q&A.
Yeah.
So you have to be pretty alert for a half an hour, which is a terribly long time when you feel that ill.
Yeah.
When you feel that bad.
But, and you're definitely bragging on how well she did, but you all did fantastic. I mean, it was, as you know, showing the belt and everything.
Yeah.
Clearly you did a great job, but it was pretty spectacular. So
that's pretty awesome.
So another story.
Okay, another story. Give me some more.
So these are from a few years back, and I'm sure Ben knows several of them, and maybe you've heard them as well. But so there was one year in Region 4 where the problem statements are due at midnight. And I just normally hang out in my room, make sure they're fed and they have all the little resources and technology they need.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just hang out in my room. So about 11 o'clock, maybe even 11:15. So we're talking like an hour or 45 minutes till the deliverables due. I get this knock on my door. So open the door, and it is two students, and they come into the room, and then they're quickly followed by the rest of their team. And they start with, we just don't think that we can submit this because we feel like we're letting Iowa State down.
Oh.
And so they're like, we're going to no bid. We're just not going to submit anything. And I let them finish their rant. And I said, you have worked all day. You are going to go back to your room, and you are going to put together whatever you have, and you are going to submit it. And I don't know why that was enough, because that's literally all I said. But that's apparently what they needed, and they're like, you're right. We're going to go submit it. So they submitted, and I think, it wasn't the best, but if I recall, I know we placed.
Oh,
we either
okay.
came in second or third.
Yeah.
But I was like, see, don't give up.
Right.
So, and then more recently, everybody's submitted, everybody's going to bed because they've got the next day they have to get ready for their presentations. I get a knock on the door at 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Wow.
I didn't answer the door because it's 2 a.m.
I don't answer to panic at 2 in the morning. That's a good call.
So then I start getting text messages. So one of my key flaws is that all these students have my phone number.
Yeah.
So
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm the same way. I don't even know if they know it, but
it's in my signature line.
It's in my exactly mine too. I don't know if they know that that's my actual cell phone. Anyway.
I don't know if I'd broadcast that.
Right.
But y'all are pretty good about being respectful about it.
And the people listening to this aren't gonna. You know what I'm saying.
So 2 a.m. Then I start getting text messages. So I finally open the door. It's two students who are absolutely panicked because they feel like they have are going to get disqualified
Yeah.
because they felt like they had numbers in their bid form that didn't match the numbers that were in their full deliverable.
Okay.
And I said, why would you get disqualified for that? And then they also said, well, the total number is the same. It's just what we added where. And I said, you have got to go to bed, and you have got to
stop thinking about it.
You have got to go to bed, and you have got to let it go.
Yeah.
And so then they came in first. So I love that these students, I've enjoyed being part of these competitions because you see the students, you see them do that, forming, storming, norming, conforming process. You see them go through highs and lows. You see them sometimes get in arguments with one another. You see them figure things out. Sometimes they drive all the way home from Nebraska City without talking to one another.
It was a quiet ride in the design build car.
Okay, just check it.
It's you see all these things, but the thing that is the kind of the theme throughout is that they care.
Yeah.
And the fact that they care so much is really what makes our students great. Is there, this, as you said, is a volunteer competition for fun, and they take it so seriously, and they want to represent Iowa State so well that they nearly torture themselves to succeed.
I mean, you got to watch me and my team. How bad did we feel before our presentation? I was telling my team, I'm like, guys, I got second place last year. This is not what a second place deliverable looks like.
Yeah.
Just brace yourselves for whatever happens. I'm like, we still can go kick ass in this presentation, and we're going to finish strong because that's what we do at Iowa State. We give good presentations. We finish strong. I'm like, but just be prepared to, not walk across that stage. Then we give our presentation. We're all riding cloud nine because we knew it went well.
Yeah.
I mean, out of our 10 minutes of Q&A, they probably spent 4 or 5 of them just telling us how good of a job we did in the presentation, which is that makes the Q&A really easy.
Yeah, no kidding. You take away all the time for the Q part.
Yeah. And so then we were feeling really good. But then we go to the project solution that night where DPR goes over. It was like a 35-story high-rise building in Austin, Texas, is what our project was, just if anyone was curious. We go to that, and then I immediately was back down. I'm like, no, we missed on this. We missed on that. We should have buttoned these things up a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And then come awards, we sit there, we hear third place. It's not us. We hear second place. It's not us. My stomach dropped out of my body. I was like, damn, that is really unfortunate. Yeah. And they called our name, and it was like a head rush. I can't believe it. Yeah. It was really cool.
Well, those are good moments, man. Those are good learning moments. And the awesome part about all this, these are learning moments that are free. Yeah. In other words, you put this work in, and that's great. I mean, that's a cost. But this isn't a business. In other words, you can learn these things and win, lose, whatever. There's learning moments to be had. But they're ones that you can take with you forever, but they didn't actually cost you something. Like, I lost a client, I lost a job, I lost money at this. These are great bonus learning items.
Well, and I will say it does cost something.
Okay,
and
okay,
so that's where we need
a good point.
That's where we should, for the people who do listen to the podcast. Yeah, we do.
And there's at least 5 or 6.
At least 5 or 6.
At least 5 or 6
who
people in the industry.
Have connections with 5 or 6 companies.
Yeah,
and so we want to represent companies. That's one of the challenges about going to this competition in Reno. So Ben likes this. He's even mentioned this to me. He likes showing up the way we show up, which is mismatched polos and button ups, and we kind of look like a ragtag bunch of Midwesterners. Yeah, maybe we are, but then you see these teams let's just call them out, Texas A&M shows up with these vests that are all logoed up with the companies.
Yeah, they look like a NASCAR driver.
I asked
cowboy hats.
Yeah, cowboy hats. I asked some coaches here and there about how much do you get per team, and they're like, oh yeah, we get $15,000 per team, and all this kind of stuff. And it's one school told me that they raised for their students to attend this competition. $75,000 from their industry.
Dude, serious?
I will say that I appreciate the companies that sponsored us this year.
Yeah.
We got $2,500.
Okay.
That did not cover the cost, which fortunately, we have support in the department, at least for this year,
Yeah.
to have sent the students. But
Who were our sponsors this year? It was J. Dunn and
J. Dunn, Larson, and Burns and Mac.
Yep. So massive thank you to those who did support.
Massive thank you to those people that responded to us and supported us. So, I will admit that we probably need to do a better job, which we're going to try and do this year.
I would agree.
In making sure people understand what they want. But the thing that I want.
Yeah. What is it? What is it we want? What do we need to do
what
this?
we need beyond money? Because I want money, but I want there to be benefit to the company that's giving us money.
Yeah.
I want them to swag our students out. I want them to have shirts on that say Iowa State. If you want to be kind of cute about it, powered by or sponsored by or something, and represent these companies as well as representing Iowa State.
I would agree. No, wholeheartedly, absolutely. I mean, I think that's that's the type of thing that construction in general needs is for industry and educational institutions like us to say, hey, there's jobs, there's scholarships, there's interest. Get involved because the payback is awesome. The country needs these skills, and hey, if you're the one, there's an investment to be made here, but the investment pays off at the end of it.
Yeah.
In other words, there are good students to be hired, and there's jobs that need done, and there's companies that need to hire. And I wholeheartedly agree, right? I mean, I'd like it if you and I walk into class and we look like NASCAR drivers.
Yeah. Or the classrooms.
Or the classrooms. I mean, no, seriously, if this works for the athletic programs, why doesn't it work for us?
Well, and quite frankly, some places it does. I mean, if you
Arizona State.
Yeah, you go to Arizona States, you go to Colorado State in their construction management program.
Yeah.
Like their rooms, which we have a couple things in town, but not enough.
Yeah.
Where the rooms, like the wallpaper is
brought to you by J. Dunn or somebody.
By some company. But what's cool about like the wallpaper, like the all the different construction photos, is those become teachable moments in class, where during class you say, oh, you don't know what a bulldozer looks like. There's a bulldozer, and you point to the wall.
Well, especially for like 240-1, if you're talking about caissons or something, and you can point to a picture on the wall of an actual caisson being installed, and it was a Hewitt job or a Walsh job or whoever's doing it, that would be way more beneficial than seeing a cut section in a textbook.
I would wholeheartedly agree. Yeah. No, you're right. But that takes a massive amount of effort to get that done.
Yeah.
Sure. But needed. All right. And maybe that's it. Maybe we just don't take that whole recruiting part seriously enough and do enough of it in-house. I don't know. I don't know what the answer there is.
Well,
but it does take a lot of effort.
I think the other thing, and I'm going to call out the Midwesterner piece of all this, is I think just culturally, I feel like companies here are used to being what I'll call nickel and dimed. So they're used to giving money to like AGC at $1,000, at $500 a piece. Whereas in other institutions, they go out and ask for $25,000, $50,000, $100,000. And I think that's where I see the difference is our companies here are good about, if we ask, saying, sure, here's $1,000, here's $500, but if you come to them with an ask of much more than that, so we did ask for $6,000 a team for going to Reno, and I think that was almost like above the threshold to where companies were like, I don't think we can do that.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a little bit culturally, because if you ask for that, some of those California teams, like that would have been a low donation.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
I think a little bit of it is cultural. A little bit of it is we need to have more conversation about what we think the company gets. And I
would wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
And that is something that we need to be doing a better job of.
Yeah. And
is connecting that. Okay, you're supporting us. Well, then guess what? There's benefits to that. There's an end to that. There's something. There's the what's in it for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
I think it needs to be there.
And I completely agree. I mean, companies shouldn't be expected to just, cut us checks for nothing.
No.
There should be some benefit. And one of the things that I see benefit for like these competitions is, hey, if you're willing to sponsor our team, provide us a donation of $6,000 to help fund the travel, support our team with, logoed up gear that has your logo on it, that has Iowa State on it, so that when they are there, they're representing Iowa State, but they're also representing you. And then let's set up like weekly meetings with the team. You get 6 students that happen to be some of the best students that we have that you're going to talk to every week.
Yeah, and I know like DPR, they sponsor that problem. They make every team send in the members of their team, their resumes in.
Yeah.
So then they can screen the people who competed in their category.
Of course.
So I mean, if that's part of it, you want the 6 people in the PM team's resumes.
Yeah.
Easily done.
Right.
No,
and
I
if
agree.
you think whatever student was exceptional and you want to set up an interview, perfect. You have the resume, you have their contact, you have everything.
Yep. Well, I think that would be a good step forward because it would be nice, if we could get to that point where it's not just 1 or 2 teams, but it's, multiples of there. I think that would be a great move. I mean, that's got to develop. I mean, there's got to be interest, and like you said, there's got to be the money there because that is a very real thing.
Yeah.
Flying, staying in the hotels, the whole thing is not.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap.
Shout out our biggest sponsor, the department.
Yeah. Well, is it AGC that put the button? No. Oh, it's just the department did.
Well,
Okay.
this comes from, the construction engineering account. So, I have to ask Dr. Shane if she's good with it. And so far she has been, but I've committed that, we're going to do a better job of raising money for this.
Okay.
Otherwise, we won't be able to take, multiple teams.
No.
It's just
like
this year was a little bit of an experiment. And unfortunately, the experiment went very, very well.
Yeah.
So now we have to figure out how to
do it again.
Sustain it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would love to see, for the department's sake, more of that sustained, because it's pretty awesome. I was telling before you got here, I was telling Ben that before you guys even hit your LinkedIn, I had one of the other advisors from Chico State text me that they had won.
Yeah.
And that was pretty awesome, where another school professor saying, "Hey, your team just won."
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I had multiple emails of, "Hey, congratulations to your team. Hey, saw you took first and second. Hey."
Yeah.
I mean,
you're like, how'd that happen? I haven't told anybody yet.
We had barely gotten out of awards, and I had gotten a text from an alumni congratulating us. So, shout out Will Stecker.
Well, that's awesome. No, this is a good way. This is a good way to get our students, and this is what I think this is one of the things that Connie does better than most of our other engineering brethren here on campus. Getting industry and our students put together to maximize the student experience with regards to job opportunities and then scholarships and that type of thing. The more that we do that, the better it is. I mean, that should be mission number 1 of ours. So I like it. We should do more of it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, any lasting thoughts, lessons learned, things you want to take away or share, or anything before we wrap this up?
Do you have that photo of both teams together?
Hold on. Yeah.
I don't know that I have it.
Oh, go to my LinkedIn.
I don't have LinkedIn.
You don't have LinkedIn? Oh, geez, you are so worthless,
dude. I know.
Yeah, I know. I tried.
He probably has like Snapchat or something.
Yeah,
like that.
guarantee he has Snapchat.
Twitter, is Twitter a thing anymore?
Oh yeah, it's still going
X.
strong.
It's X now. It's X.
Yeah, sorry.
Still rolling,
All right.
maybe. Well,
All right.
Maybe if Jenny shared it. Let me see if this is it or not.
Okay, hold on a second. You want me to bring up your laptop?
Let me see if this is the actual photo or not. No, this is a video from awards. Oh, here's Roy giving a motivational speech. I mean, you can pull this up. It's just a bunch of pictures of us doing whatever.
All right.
Yeah, this is after awards. Roy and Steve and Jenny all kind of gave some motivational speeches to the gang. Here we go. Yeah.
There it is.
So this is both teams together after awards. Still got our championship belt, and then also a quick shout out to the electrical team. I know we didn't talk a ton about them. They just weren't able to make it here today to kind of represent themselves. But Ike Case, Carrie Wormka, Shanna Cleve, Jose Manuel Vergara, and Caden Larson and Calvin Pettit. And then, of course, Jenny Baker was their coach. So, yeah, they got second place. They did a phenomenal job. Ike was on my design build team. Alexa was on my design build team. So it was also really nice to get a little redemption out in Nevada for our poor performance in Nebraska.
All right, redeemed.
That's right. The redeemed team.
The redeemed team. Okay. Well, that's all good stuff. All right. So anything else here as we wrap things up?
That's all I
Nothing.
got.
It's a good experience. Students need to get involved. There's tons of benefit for them, and we need sponsorships to continue doing the same thing and maybe even more.
Yeah.
All right.
If companies need a contact, you can get a hold of Roy Sturgill.
For sure.
Yeah.
Or me for the short term, because I'll still be here for another year-ish.
Wait, what? He's going to stick around another year?
Well, just the fall semester still not done.
We got one more. After this semester, he's got one more semester.
He's got one more semester?
Yeah. So,
okay, fine.
Auderer be at iastate.edu. Send your money straight to my Venmo.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. No.
Or Sturgill at iastate.edu.
All right. Well, that's pretty awesome stuff. Thank you guys for coming by and talking about your experience. Sounds like it was really, really worthwhile. Good win. And it was awesome for Chico State to tell me that they lost to us. That was, I did enjoy that. Right. We've been good friends for like almost 20 years. So anytime that's pretty awesome. All right. Well, appreciate you both taking the time out of your busy day to come here and talk with me. And that will wrap it up for another episode of the Office Hours Podcast with Professor Brad Perkins.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.